I'm Leah and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be giving you an update on my relaxed hair and a recap of my latest relaxer touch-up. So let's go ahead and jump in because there's a lot for me to tell you. All right, last relaxer touch-up of the year, but first relaxer touch-up in North Carolina. Now, I lived in North Carolina previously, so I've gotten my hair done in this state before, but I've been living in Florida for the past few years, so I'd been going to a stylist there. But one of the things that made me excited to be moving back to North Carolina was that I was going to be able to go to a stylist that I'd gone to years ago, a few years before I even moved to Florida, and she did such a great job with my hair. In fact, she was actually the last stylist in North Carolina to touch my hair, and she gave me a great cut before I left. I got a cut, I got a touch-up before I moved to Florida, and I loved it. And to be honest, no one that I tried in that state lived up to what she was able to do with my hair. So I was really excited to be able to come back. So I got my touch-up at 11 weeks post, and prior to actually going to get the chemical put on my new growth, the stylist that I was going to, I contacted her and she suggested that we do a consultation. And I was like, yeah, it's a good idea. I should have thought of that. Let's do that. So I went in a week prior and did the consultation. And basically it was just me sitting down with her and going over what's been happening with my hair since the last time she touched it, which had been several years. And I told her all about my protein overload situation. Interestingly enough, she said she had a similar situation happen to her. It wasn't as bad about a protein overload as I had, but she totally got it and was like, yeah, it can mess with your hair and cause some damage. She also asked me what relaxer the previous stylist I'd been going to had used on my hair, what products I was using on my hair at home, what was some of my regimen, and we talked a lot about protein, moisture balance, and having to maintain that. She also went ahead, I had my hair in a ponytail, took my hair in a ponytail and ran her fingers through my hair, and I showed her where I had all of this breakage. I showed her my ends, which they were a hot mess. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And told her I wanted to get some hair chopped off. I wanted to get like at least an inch. Hey, if it had to be 2 inches, I was all down for that. I wanted to at least be able to put my hair in a short ponytail. If I needed to, I was just like, let's just get rid of these bad ends because they were bugging me. So then I went back a week later after the consultation and actually had the appointment. So I have to tell you, I was a little spoiled by the stylist I went to in Florida because typically I would be one of the only clients, even pre-pandemic, I was one of the only clients that would be in her salon at that time because I would come in on a Saturday morning. Apparently a lot of her clients didn't like to come in Saturday morning. They would come in like later, or they would do another day during the week. And so it would a lot of times just be me, or she'd be finishing up someone right before me. So I wouldn't have to wait for too long. I would be in and out in like a couple of hours. And my mom, who goes to the stylist, had said, oh, she and my dad were going out that evening, you won't be back by the time we leave. And so we'll see you when we get back from where we're going. And I was like, I should be back. It should only be a couple of hours. It ended up being like 3. And it was just a matter of, there was one client that was there that she was finishing up when I got there. And then she had her, rep come in who sells products to her, came in, so she had to talk to him, and then it was just like, then she had to take care of the other client, take the rollers out when she finished drying, and so there was just a bit of stuff going on that I just wasn't used to, and I'm like, yeah, this is how it was when I lived in North Carolina. Every stylist I ever went to, I had to wait. It wasn't just in and out in 2 hours. I was like, okay, note to self, make sure you have nothing planned afterwards, or if you do have something planned after your appointment, make sure it's like 4 or 5 hours afterwards. So I've learned my lesson. But anyway, that wasn't even a bad thing. It was just like, I've been spoiled kind of thing, and I just need to get used to how the rest of the world works type of situation. So I'm not complaining about it, just stating, yeah, I'm back to reality, I guess. But anyway, the appointment did go well overall. So she based my scalp, and I forgot to base my scalp beforehand. Thankfully, it wasn't a situation where I had like any burning or anything, but I realized that when she was basing my scalp, I was like, I forgot to do it myself, because typically I would do it and then my stylist would also do it too, so it was just kind of like double protection. But thankfully I had no issues. And then she used the relaxer on my hair, and she used Design Essentials. I feel like that's been used on my hair before in the past, but I can't remember. My current the stylist I was going to in Florida, she was using a Firm on my hair. So this time around, Design Essentials, and I could feel there was a slight difference in it. I can't explain it, but I could feel there was a difference. And then also how my hair came out. I think she also smoothed it a little bit more and left it on slightly longer than my other stylist did, because my hair came out a lot more straighter than normal, but it wasn't too straight, because I did tell her I still want some texture left in my hair, and so we decided between like 70 and 80% left of texture in my hair, because I don't want a bone straight. I just don't want bone straight hair. That's just not how I like my hair. I mean, even now my hair, I will tell you, has been flat ironed, and when I left, I was like, this is the flattest my hair has been, and I don't remember how long. I like to have a little bit of life in my hair, and I kind of like also with having some texture in my hair, not being bone straight. People tend to think that I might be natural, and I like giving that surprise look they have when I tell them, oh no, I'm relaxed. They're like, whoa! So I kind of like that, and like I said, also like just to have a little bit of texture in my hair. But I'm still having that. It's just slightly straighter than I was used to. So as I mentioned, she flat ironed my hair. I asked her to. This is the first time I had anyone flat iron my hair outside of me. And when I flat iron my hair, I do it on like a low heat, so it doesn't get this straight. It's like smooth. It's just not straight. So I was just like, what the heck did I do? I was just like, oh my goodness. But my hair's got so much more life and bounce than I've had coming out of a salon appointment in a while. And so I'm loving it. The only thing is, I'm like, will I be able to replicate this myself? What is my hair going to look like when I wash it myself? So we'll see. After she flat ironed my hair, she also went ahead and gave me a cut. Now, we had talked about during the consultation taking off about an inch, maybe more. I just had a lot of dead ends. My ends were kind of scraggly, and you could see like through my ends, like they were just very thin. There was no thickness there. I wasn't wearing my hair down at all. I tried doing the half up, half down look for a few times, and then it just kind of looked really bad because my hair was just so uneven. She cut off probably about an inch, and then she went into the different, like underneath the top layer, and went and like shaped up some of the hair under there that just had not been shaped up before. So here's what my hair looks like today. Let me turn around and show you. This is it. There is a slight kink in here because I did have my hair in a ponytail earlier. So you do see a slight kink. So to maintain my hair thus far since my appointment, I just last night put some of the green tea super moist leave-in conditioner from TGIN on my ends and sealed with the TGIN anti-breakage serum. And then I had wrapped a scarf around my edges here, and then kind of like tucked my hair up into it a little bit like this, just to kind of maintain the bump. So between now and my next touch-up, I'm going to be paying close attention to my ends, making sure I keep them moisturized and hydrated, keeping them protected. Not going to be wearing them down all the time. Basically, I went to church this morning and I put my hair up in a ponytail, and then when I got to church, I took it down. When I left church, I put it back up in a ponytail, and then when I got back here to do this video, I took my hair down. So basically, I'm kind of doing what I've done in the past, which is put my hair in a ponytail or a bun when I'm not looking to wear it down, to keep my ends off of my clothes and protected. I'm going to make sure I keep them hydrated, moisturized, and sealed with good serums and good moisturizers. And I will be probably getting maybe a trim next time as well. It just kind of depends on how my ends look. I'm hoping that I can get back to the point where I don't need trims every single time I go to the salon, which used to be in the past. And I would sometimes be able to go in and like take care of some of it myself if I start to notice anything got a little wonky, but because there's so many different layers in my hair, and it's not like a layered cut, it's just different layers because of the breakage that had happened that's still growing out, I just don't feel as comfortable doing it as I used to in the past. So we'll see. Maybe I might feel more comfortable going forward, but who knows. My next touch-up is going to be in 10 weeks. I asked her to go ahead and schedule me for 10 weeks. I'm going to go 10 weeks for a while instead of 12. I just feel like I kind of want her hands in my hair a little bit more. I feel like that will help me with my ends as well in terms of being able to get her to like trim them more often. But I do see myself eventually going back to 12 weeks. It's just a matter of once I feel like my hair is like in the spot it was where I feel like my hair was at its best in 2017. So when I feel like my hair's made it back to that, then I will probably be like, okay, we can kind of change some stuff. And speaking about changing some stuff, okay, it's been interesting being back in North Carolina because I've noticed that I've had to do some things differently with my hair than I was doing in Florida. And I hadn't even realized the shift that I had made in my hair regimen from North Carolina to Florida. I think because it took a little bit of time for me to do that, or it happened. So I don't know how it happened, but I didn't really take note of that shift in my hair regimen when I moved to Florida. But I am taking more of a note of it now when I'm moving, since I've moved back. So a few things that I've noticed is one, that my scalp tends to get dry here, okay? I would sometimes have that issue in Florida, but typically not so much. And I think it's because it was more humid there and humid more often than it is here in North Carolina. Now in North Carolina, we're headed into fall. Actually, technically, I think it is fall. And so cooler weather, drier weather, it's not as humid here at this time. So my scalp is probably like, what the freak is going on? Like, I like the humidity. Now, my hair didn't care for the humidity so much, but I was able to work through it with the products I was using, but my scalp really did. So what I've been doing is putting Jamaican black castor oil after I've washed my hair and dried it and everything. And then probably one more time during the week before my next wash, I'll do some more Jamaican black castor oil on all of my scalp or parts of my scalp. I've also noticed that I don't need to use sulfate shampoos as much as I did in Florida. The water in Florida is not so great. It's hard water, and I didn't have a water softener in my house. So my hair, when I was just using sulfate-free shampoos, my hair was just like not loving it. And so I started using a sulfate shampoo as one of my lathers. I lather twice, and so the first time was with a sulfate shampoo, the second time was with sulfate free. Both were moisturizing. And then I would use a clarifying shampoo when needed. And I knew like my hair needed to be cleaned a bit, and so I used a clarifying shampoo and then used my moisturizing shampoo as a second lather, and I was like, my hair just didn't feel quite right. And then for the weeks after that, I was using the sulfate shampoo and then a sulfate free, and it still wasn't feeling right. And then I was like, wait a minute, when I lived here previously, I just used sulfate-free shampoos. Even my cleansing shampoo, my deep cleansing shampoo, my clarifying shampoo was a sulfate-free shampoo. So I went and just decided to use sulfate-free for both the first and second lather, and I noticed a huge difference. My hair was back to being moisturized. It was back to being hydrated like it had been. My hair wasn't dried out when I was using the sulfate shampoo, but it wasn't as moisturized and hydrated as I was used to. But now my hair is back to that because I changed and adapted. A few other things that I'm changing are that I'm not going to be steaming during my deep conditioning every single week. It's just kind of gotten to be a bit of a pain in terms of the setup. I'm not in my own place. I'm in my parents' house. And so I've got to like cart out the steamer every single time and set it up. And then I've got to figure out what I'm going to sit on when I'm steaming. And it's not just like simple as getting a chair because of where I'm setting up my steamer. So it's just like, it's a lot of work to do every week. And I was doing it for like about a month, and I was just like, I can't do that anymore. So I've decided like once a month, typically my first wash of the month, I'm going to use a steamer. And then for the rest of the month, I'm just going to use the deep conditioning cap. I'm also going to try to bring back my green tea rinses. I had stopped doing them. I thought, oh, it's so much trouble to have to go and like, you know, steam the tea and then make sure I bring them with me into the shower. I am going to try to bring them back, but I'm not going to do it every single week. I'm probably going to do it 2 weeks a month. So I just need to figure out what those weeks are going to be and make sure that I plan ahead so that I can make sure I have my tea rinse made and ready for me when I wash my hair. All right, so that is my Relaxer Touch-Up recap and my hair update. I will keep you guys posted. As I said my next Relaxer Touch-Up is in 10 weeks, so I'll keep you posted on what happens with my hair between now and then. Hopefully it's only in all good things. And if you have any questions for me about anything that I discussed, please go ahead and leave that in the comments down below. And I would also like to hear from you if you've made any changes to your hair regimen. You can also leave that in the comments down below. And please go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I know a lot of you are not subscribers because I can see in my analytics that a lot of people who watch my videos are not subscribers to my channel. So go ahead, make the commitment, hit the red button and subscribe. And if you want to get notified when I upload new videos, you can also ask YouTube to send you notifications by hitting the bell button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.